Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to Georgie Ogden Astrology. In this video, we are going to be talking all about Venus, the planet Venus. What does she represent? What she does in your birth chart, what she does as she transits. Basically, what are the key elements of Venus? This video is for beginners. So if you are trying to learn the planets, trying to understand them a little bit more, give this video a watch and hopefully you will get some value from it. If you don't follow me, please subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to get the channel out there. And if you got value from this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could give it a thumbs up because this helps push the channel out. So thank you very much. And let's get into the video. So Venus, what does Venus represent in astrology? So Venus is one of our benefic planets, okay? So Jupiter and Venus, two benefics. Jupiter is said to be the higher benefic, the most helpful and the most blessing-filled planet of the zodiac. And Venus is following Jupiter in that sense. Venus is our feminine energy, okay? Everyone has masculine and feminine energy in them, and Venus represents our feminine energy. Now, Venus is our planet of love and beauty and harmony and relationship. So in your chart, where Venus is placed, it is where she shows the things that you enjoy, okay? Because she's all about joy. She's about fun. Venus is very creative as well. She points towards a certain part of your chart where you can bring out all of those parts of your personality. You can bring out your creativity. You can bring out the things that you love to do. She also symbolizes your relationships, okay? How you give love, how you like to receive love, your attitudes towards love. She also represents your friendships, and she brings blessings. So whichever part of the chart Venus is in, she is bringing you blessings. She's helping you out. So if you have a segment of your chart where Venus happens to be in the same sign as a malefic or a more challenging planet, she will actually be then helping you. She's going to be mitigating that part of your chart. And what that means is, so say you've got Saturn in a certain area or Mars, with Venus there, she's going to make that part of your chart less bad than what it would be if she wasn't there, if that makes sense. Obviously, aspects to Venus, the zodiac sign, all plays a part in her condition. So wherever Venus is placed, and with any planet, we need to look at the condition of the planet. And this means, how does it operate in the sign? Does it operate well? Is it receiving support from the other planets via a trine and a sextile, or is it receiving pressure from the other planets via squares and oppositions? Because this is going to affect how the planet can work, how she can use her tools, and which sign is she in. Talking about Venus, Venus rules Taurus and Venus rules Libra. So in those signs, she's got all of the tools that she needs to operate well. So this is a good starting point. Venus is then exalted in Pisces. This means she does really, really well in Pisces. She actually also does really well in Cancer because she can be loving in Cancer. But in Pisces, she can really reach that unconditional love that she wants to express. So she is said to be exalted there. Now, because she is exalted in Pisces, it means that in the opposite sign of Virgo, she is in fall. And this is because Virgo is a very critical sign, and Virgo likes things to be done in such an organized and specific way that it kind of hinders Venus, okay? Venus wants to be free-flowing and loving and harmonious, and Virgo is too critical. So Venus in Virgo doesn't operate that well compared to in her sign of exaltation and the signs that she rules. So again, Libra and Taurus. Now, Venus and her association with Taurus is slightly different to Venus and her association with Libra, because Taurus is an earth sign and Libra is an air sign. So with Venus representing Taurus, ruling Taurus, you've got to think about her earthy side and what that means in terms of beauty and harmony. So Taurians love nature. They love pretty gardens and flowers, and nice smells and the senses being stimulated. These are all Venusian themes in an earth sign. But then when you look at Venus in Libra, Libra is more of like an art gallery. it's art, it's culture, it's nice buildings, architecture. So it's more logical, it's more airy than the earth sign Taurus. So can you see the difference there? It's still together, it's still things of beauty and harmony and love, but there's slightly different takes on it between the earth and the air. Venus also rules fashion and jewelry and looking nice, so makeup and beauty, things like that. This is why, you know, Taurians are said to be really beautiful, and people with Libra placements are said to be very artistic and very, so for example, there's a lot of makeup artists that have Libra placements because they can spot things that look beautiful. And Libras themselves take time, generally speaking, to make themselves look beautiful. Or, you know, a lot of the time a Libra rising is your appearance. They take time to look beautiful because they're ruled by Venus, and it's luxury as well. So again, this is going back to why Taurians are said and Libras are said to be materialistic, because it's all about luxury, having nice things. Now, there's other things in the chart that actually change this. So it doesn't by any means mean that Taurus and Libra are materialistic, but it's just the sign herself, the sign themselves, and it's the impact of Venus. It's that enjoying luxury, enjoying comfort. Comfort is a really strong word for Venus. She wants to be comfortable because it's that feminine energy again. It's how can I lavish myself, whether that means going to a spa, whether that means having some nice perfume, smelling nice flowers. It's all about lavish, living through the senses and living in comfort, because this is when we're really tapping into our feminine energy. And yes, men have Venus in their charts as well. And this is why we think about the condition of Venus. So if you've got Venus, for example, in Pisces or in Cancer, this is going to make you more nurturing, more loving, more compassionate, because the attributes of those signs are Venus is working well with them. Whereas if you were to have Venus in Aries, for example, or in Capricorn, Aries is a more aggressive fire sign. It's the masculine energy. So Venus in those signs, she's not going to be able to channel her feminine energy very much. So Venus in Aries, for example, can be kind of aggressive. Venus in Capricorn can be more, what's the word? More practical. And again, it's not really being able to exert her feminine side. So this is why she doesn't necessarily do as well in those signs. It doesn't mean to say that if you've got Venus in one of those signs, you can't express your feminine energy. It's just Venus as a planet and how she's operating in your chart will depend on the sign she's in and the aspects being made to her, and how easy it is for her to express that part of herself, as in how easy it is for you as an individual to express your Venus would depend whereabouts she is in your chart. Because the Venus is the ruler of Taurus, the opposite sign is Scorpio. So again, Venus in Scorpio doesn't do as well because she's very far from home. She doesn't have as many tools around her to be able to operate. So she's going to be operating in it under pressure. Scorpio is a very deep, intense water sign. So Venus in Scorpio can feel like she's drowning a little bit in the intensity of it all. And we've spoken about Aries being opposite Libra, and we've spoken about Virgo being opposite Pisces. So the signs opposite, the ones that she does well in, are where Venus tends to struggle that little bit more. Venus wants relationships, okay? So being the ruler of Libra, it's all about relationships. She is the relationship builder. So if you've got a strong Venus in your chart, you're going to be good at building relationships. You're going to be harmonious. People are going to be drawn to you. You might be quite popular. You might be able to have great conversations with people and just get on with people generally, in a general sense, quite well. If you've got an under pressure Venus, you may struggle with these things a little bit more because she rules relationships. So she rules being able to connect with the other. This is very Libra, being able to connect with the other. Now, when Venus is transiting through the house, up in the sky, Venus is transiting, and she's transiting a person's natal chart, she's bringing blessings to that house as she moves around. She's bringing more creativity to that house. She's bringing more social situations to that house. So, for example, when Venus is transiting the 11th house of friendships, you may find you're meeting up with your friends more. you're having more pleasant experiences within your friendships, because she's bringing her blessings to each area of your life. So always pay attention to where Venus is transiting, because you'll find she's helping you out. Venus also rules money. She is the planet of money. So when she's transiting, depending which house it's in, you might notice that your finances are improving. For example, if she's transiting your second house of finances, you may notice that your income's going up a little bit. The condition of Venus also affects how you are with money. So which sign is Venus in and how is it being aspected? For example, Venus in a water sign might spend money based upon their emotions, or they might not. Venus in Pisces, for example, isn't necessarily the best with money, because they don't tend to have boundaries with what they're spending, unless there's other aspects in the chart, such as Earth, to ground them and help them be a bit more practical. Venus in an Earth sign like Virgo, even though she's in her fall in Virgo, she's more practical with money with Venus in Virgo, because Virgo is very specific about things. So Venus in Virgo would be very specific about spending money. Now, when Venus energy has gone wrong, so if she's under a lot of pressure from certain planets or bad aspects, she can become very vain. She can become self-indulgent, and she can struggle with money. So this is why the condition of Venus tends to affect how she's playing out in your chart. So those are the negative traits of Venus. Overly self-indulgent, because Venus rules food. She also rules the voice. So people with harmonious Venus aspects can have a really nice voice, a really nice singing voice, a really nice speaking voice. But yeah, so for example, Venus under pressure from the sun can end up vain, can end up being somebody that really, really seeks attention, self-indulgent. This is when Venus gone wrong energy is too much, if she's under harsh pressure from the sun. Venus, in terms of creativity, so she is poetry, she is creation, she's elegance, and she's happiness. So these are all beautiful words that we can associate with Venus and being able to express ourselves in a happy and harmonious way. Venus wants harmony. She doesn't want fighting. She's the opposite to Mars. Mars is the masculine and it's the planet of war and fighting, and Venus wants harmony. So this is why we can really see she is a beautiful planet. Always pay attention to where she is in the chart, because you're going to activate your Venus and you're going to activate your happiness by being able to do the things that Venus loves to do. So if Venus is in the 9th house, you're going to love to travel. If Venus is in the 2nd house, you're going to be finding it easier to earn money, or your self-worth is going to be pretty strong, unless she's badly aspected. If Venus is in the 6th house, perhaps you really enjoy health regimes or working out, or there's some blessings there for you in terms of your health and your routines and your daily work. So can you see whichever house she's placed in is going to bring about blessings for you? So Venus is a lovely planet to work with. Do pay attention to the aspects being made to her, because she does represent your relationships. So, for example, if you have a Saturn aspecting your Venus, this is going to make you more traditional in your relationships, and it's going to make you want to be more committed and take your relationships more seriously. If you've got Uranus aspecting your Venus, this is going to probably make you a bit more free and independent within relationships. And depending on the aspect being made, whether it's trine sextile being positive or square opposition being negative, that's going to show you, that's going to color how that aspect is manifesting. So Venus squaring Uranus would be more like you struggle with anyone telling you what to do in a relationship because you just want to break free. Whereas Venus trining Uranus would be more, you like exciting adventures within your relationships. You enjoy independence, but it's not in a negative way, and it's in a more exciting and innovative way rather than a negative expression. So the aspects do make a difference as well. Venus is operating very close to the sun, so she can actually never be more than 46 degrees away from the sun. So you'll find that she's usually in a sign either in front of or behind your sun sign. Depending on the degrees, she could be 2 signs away. if she's at the end of one sign and your sun's at the beginning, but she's never more than 46 degrees away from your sun. So that is the general main themes of Venus as a planet. If you are a beginner in astrology, hopefully this has helped you understand a little bit more about Venus as a planet and what she does in the birth chart. Please let me know in the comments if you have any other insights into what Venus is doing in your chart. What house is she in? What sign is she in? And I hope you got some value. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please subscribe, like, really appreciate it. Yeah, give this video a thumbs up and catch you all in the next video. Lots of love.